Gamercast Network.
Hey. All right. It's a video game show. It's a video game show. It's not a game show about videos. It's a video game show.
And welcome to the Gamercast Network Video Game Show, episode number 29 for Friday, March 16th, 2007. I'm Chad, and this week for the roll call, in memory of Captain America, who will probably come back within a year. When I say your name, tell me your favorite video game based on a comic book. And joining me this evening is Keith.
I'm going to have to go with the Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Ivan.
I have to go with Spider-Man 2.
Bob.
I'm probably going to say X-Men Legends, the good one, 2.
And joining us this evening from UncleGamer Radio is Vicious.
I would have to go with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time.
And mine's going to be one of those old school graphical text adventures for the Apple II, The Incredible Hulk. Just because you could type bite lip and you'd become the Hulk.
Wow.
And in Gamercast Network Community News, be sure to check out Uncle Gamer Radio episode number 22, where they talk about the Game Developers Conference. Go check out Podtacular episode number 105, where they talk about Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter number 2. And finally, go check out Gamertag Radio episode number 90, where Godfrey brings you coverage of the Xbox MVP Summit. Finally, the Emilio contest results. Congratulations, Kirby Dancer, Zard, and The Dark Knight 2. You guys are the winners. We'll be contacting you shortly and getting you your prizes.
Next topic.
Just one thing I want to say, because there was all kinds of forum blow-ups and people yelling and saying things left and right, that there was a little misconception about what exactly Sony Home is. In the presentation of Sony Home last week, it could be misconstrued that everyone thinks that now to go do your online gaming, you're going to have to go through this whole Sony virtual environment, when that is not the case. Sony Home is just an application. It's another game for the Sony PlayStation 3. You don't have to use it at all. It is not a key requirement to go online and play network games. I've seen this a lot online, a lot of misconceptions about Sony Home, thinking it's what Sony's online presence is going to be, when I think it's just going to be another application for right now.
You know, I was listening to the episode last week, and I tend to think it will be a big thing if they pull it off correctly. I mean, that's the big if. If they can do exactly what they're saying they're going to do, I think it is going to be a big thing. But I think one key demographic that they're going to have in PS3 Home, or it's not going to work at all, they got to attract a lot of female gamers. Because I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to be in a room with 20 other guys. That's just me.
That's the one thing that seemed odd about this whole thing, is Sony Home seems to be almost marketed towards the casual gamer, the female gamer, you know, people who actually want to go do the social MySpace and all that kind of stuff. Whereas I can't see many hardcore gamers who just want to jump online and go play Resistance.
That was kind of my point yesterday. I might have been a little harsh about me not saying I don't care and that it's stupid. I do think it's going to be that exact thing, that it's going to be a whole lot like Second Life and a place for teenage angst-ridden individuals to hang out, talk about elite skills and stuff. And I don't really even like so much multiplayer games online with people I don't know. It's no fun.
It's
online
scary.
Yeah, it is scary. I've tried Rainbow Six Vegas a bunch of times online, and it's annoying.
I've
dealing
yet
with
to play a
human
random
beings.
game where someone hasn't put in some cheat to start whipping things at me that you're not
Right.
supposed to be whipping at me.
You know, that kind of stuff makes me not want to play online with people I don't know. So anyway, my point is though, I just want to put a game in and play with some friends, whatever. I don't want to have to interact with other people.
And I think that's going to be there in the Sony thing.
And I hope lots of people do it and play with it and whatever. And if on the off chance I ever get a PlayStation 3, I probably won't participate. But that's me. That's not something I'm interested in.
Same with me. When I get a PlayStation 3, I'm not going to go into the Sony Home just because I don't want to do that kind of stuff. I'd rather just
I'm
go play
going
the
to fill
game.
my pants with tapioca, slide down a banister into a box of packing peanuts, and do the hokey pokey.
As a PS3 owner, I'm going to jump on Home when it first comes out, and hopefully I'll be lucky enough to get in the beta that comes out in April. But it'll be a curiosity thing initially, but I'm not going to want to every day be in the PS3 home virtual world and walk around and shoot pool and go bowling with people I don't know. That's not going to be my thing. But I think the big thing with PS3 Home, it's not going to be so much the individual users, it's going to be the corporations, because obviously Sony's going to use advertising to fund this thing. So you're going to start seeing McDonald's and Starbucks and all these guys advertising within the PS3 Home. And the cool thing would be is if these companies actually set up like these virtual apartment complex places where, yeah, it's going to be all Starbucks themed, but maybe there'll be incentives to make you want to go to it. Second Life.
Mayor McCheese's house.
Right.
Like, hey, what's going on? I think I saw a hamburglar rummaging through your garbage, man. You might want to call the McPolice or something.
Next topic.
Everybody, what are we playing? Ivan?
Okay, I played a whole lot of Crackdown. I earned many achievements, including the one where you climb to the very top of the agency tower and jump off into a pool of water. It's actually kind of funny because I have kind of a fear of heights. It actually even goes so far as to extend video games. So when I'm walking on a 6-inch catwalk, my hands start sweating. I get all nervous. It's fine. 4 stars in strength, 4 stars in
agility.
No, not agility yet.
You got up the tower without agility?
Wow, that had to be hard.
Played a reflexive game that, thanks to Bob, I found called Crimson Land, which is a hell of a lot of fun. I've been pimping that to everybody I can. Just last night, logged on, checked my email, and saw that I have been invited to participate in the beta for
Shadowrun.
So those are the 3 things I've been playing.
And Keith, what have you been playing?
I've been playing Crackdown. I've been playing Peggle. Dude, that game's sweet.
It is sweet.
Very sweet.
I've been playing some World of Warcraft. And a lot of Madden. And some Dynasty Warriors. We wanted to stab things after we saw 300. Sweet movie, by the way.
Bob, what have you been playing?
I bought Crackdown last week. A used copy, which I thought was funny, because it's only been out for like 2 weeks or whatever. I'm not as impressed with it as I thought I would be. And mostly because about 4 hours into the game, my strength was maxed and nothing else was, because I just ran around punching everything. It was kind of a bummer that like I wasn't even past the first little segment of the game and like I'm already as strong as I'm ever going to be for the rest of the game. Instead of going to all the generals, I just killed the main bad guy like first. And then it's like, but the generals are still in the city. I was like, oh, that's some bull. So then I went on the bridge. And I just had it in my head that I was the Hulk, and the thought that kept going through my head was, me Hulk, clean up streets, cars dirty, me clean, and like went on the bridge and threw every single car into the river, which is extremely funny because the people scream and complain, and then as soon as you throw them, they gun the engine like they're going to go somewhere, which I thought was very, very amusing. I also want to recommend another indie game called Devastation Zone Troopers from Reflexive that I thought
was that
a lot of fun.
the jet game?
Here's the thing. That's the part you have to get past. That's just a little mini game, dude. You get to the planet's surface and you turn into just a guy walking around, and you can get like weapon power-ups and you build up your guy and stuff. It's really weird. It's like a 2D third-person shooter because you only point like left and right. You use your mouse to aim like just direction. It's a real good combination of like a 3D first-person shooter and like a side-scroller. It's really cool. It's a lot of fun.
And Vicious, do you want to throw in here and see what you've been playing?
I've been playing the Shadowrun Beta 2. I've also been playing a lot of Resistance Fall of Man.
I hear it gets better as you go on.
Yeah, and that's the thing with it, because when I got it at launch, obviously, and I was so frustrated with the PS3 and it wasn't going anywhere, so I kind of stopped playing. But recently I decided to give it another chance, and yeah, I've actually progressed pretty far. It's a really good game. I recommend anyone to go play it, but it does take a while to actually get going. I downloaded the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle arcade game. So I've been playing that a little bit.
That game rocks.
Yeah, I love that. Love that game.
All I've been playing is Crackdown and just rented God of War 2 today, so hopefully I'll get to play some of that, but not much on my end.
Next topic.
At the Game Developers Conference 2007, Crytek had videos for their Crytek Engine 2.0 for the game Crysis, and it's supposed to be developed as just an engine for PC games and eventually Xbox 360 and PS3. And I just wanted to bring it up real quick because when the Xbox 360 came out, we hemmed and hawed about, this doesn't really look next gen and all this nonsense. This is the first thing I've seen in a while that has really given me pause, that you look at and go, wow, this is pretty fantastic, for especially considering it was real time. I mean, at one point we're watching and we're standing there looking at it, and what we thought were painted backgrounds, the guy just zoomed into. You have to watch these videos because the dude has a Swedish German accent, and he just walks up and he's like, yeah, and you see here we can adjust the height terrain of the mountain, and he's like click click click, and just mountains, beautifully rendered, pre-textured mountains just get added to itself, and he's like, and here we can add snow to the top like this, and he clicks and just adds this beautifully,
kind of like the Bob Ross of
game developing. It was hysterical. It's like, yeah, we will make a pretty little tree right here. Yes, that's very nice. At the one point he's like, and here I have set the angle at 90 degrees, so there is snow here because I allow it, and it just got very, very Gestapo-like over his whole game developing engine. But the part they had with the fully destructible terrain, they're really pushing boundaries. I mean, everything blows up. Every single tree, every blade of grass, every hunk of a building.
When I was watching that fully destructible vegetation, I was like, wow, we can actually have the scene from Predator now. Where
that's right.
the whole team is lining up, blowing away part of the forest, and they actually look almost like that. If you watch the special effects clip, right at the end, they have that wave blast of dust, and then a shockwave hits and blows away a building.
The shockwave from the nuclear explosion, that was pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's a pretty sweet one.
Put up a link in the show notes. Just go take a look at them. They're really cool, and it's really something to see, and it's kind of just a preview of what kind of games are going to look like in the near future. That's about all I want to say. I mean, otherwise we'll be sitting here going on and on about texturing and 3D tunneling, and they doing that? Well, they must have a voxel map and all this
occlusion, parallax mapping, all that kind of stuff. You guys don't want to hear about that.
Hey, guess what I opened up while you were just talking?
Exactly.
Next topic.
At one of the little interview blogger kind of things, Phil Harrison was asked about, what's he think about Grand Theft Auto 4 not being a PlayStation 3 exclusive title. And he actually made a relatively sensible comment. He said, I don't think the PlayStation 3 has the install base to support Rockstar's investment in Grand Theft Auto 4 on its own.
And I would agree.
Wow. Yeah, I'd say so.
I just find it odd that he actually said that.
That's like admitting failure almost. It's like the closest they've come.
Good for you. Good for you.
Well, there's one good PR statement out of many, make up for everything, but,
Hey, it's a start.
But you know what? You kind of got to give Sony credit since right before GDC and after GDC, they've really changed their entire stance. They don't seem so arrogant anymore. They seem to
have no grounds for it.
Well, it hasn't stopped them in the past. I mean, it's almost as if they're finally admitting, you know what? We need to actually pretend that we care or something. I mean, I don't know. Instead of Phil Harrison, Phil Harrison even admitted that, that they had to do PR speak during the whole litigation with Rumble. And now that that's been settled, hey, we're going to implement Rumble back into the PS3, big shock.
But you know what? That's all I want. That right there makes it so much, the hate for Sony goes away so quickly if they just are honest.
That's because we as gamers have no retention, and so all they need to do is make like one or two good statements and be like, "Yeah, Sony's some great bunch of guys over there." But yeah, in the next 2 months, I'm really anticipating this kind of statement is going to continue. This is just it is going to be fun.
Now that the platform's been out for a while, and some of the stuff at GDC that they showed, like Little Big Planet, and today they showed the trailer for Ratchet and Clank 5, and everything's looking really good. I mean,
again, I said this on the forums, I said this on other shows. They just need to wait another year. By next Christmas, the PS3 is going to be something that's actually going to be worth buying, definitely, because the price is going to come down. There's going to be a hell of a lot more games, and
people will then have the experience and actually be able to program for the game.
Yeah, but the problem with it being a year later, like you're saying, is a year later too late. I mean, with what Microsoft and Nintendo's doing.
Definitely, but at least make it viable rather than what it is currently.
Right.
Actually, did you see they released the sales numbers for hardware? And the Game Boy Advance outsold the PlayStation 3 for February. It was like 135,000 units of the Game Boy Advance were sold, and 127,000 of the PlayStation 3.
Oh, that's it?
Wow. How many Wii's and 360s were sold?
Oh, I think 360s hit 230,000, and Wii's were like 400,000 or something like that.
Wii's were like, how many did we make? Yeah, they're all gone.
Yeah.
Next topic.
There's going to be a DS headset coming out.
Yes, there is. I was just looking at that, along with the new
So that
Pokemon
way your sexual
Pearl and
predator
Diamond.
can whisper something into your ear before he snaps you up and throws you in the back of the van?
From 20 feet away.
Wow.
Well, the whole thing here is the new Pokemon game is going to support basically Wi-Fi talking. So you can talk to your opponent before, during, and after.
I thought you were going to say it was going to support voice commands, and I was going to have some little kid screaming next to me, Pikachu, I choose you! Like on the bus.
Well, actually, they could be screaming next to you in the bus, just because they might be actually screaming at their opponents, which they're going to be able to do now.
Apparently, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl support like 8-player battles. All with voice chat.
The cool thing here is, I mean, I hope with this new headset and everything, maybe someone actually put out just like a little voice over IP piece of software.
Like Skype for the DS.
Skype for the DS. Might suck, but, you know, hey, your DS now becomes a virtual cell phone. Kids can go talk to their pedophile friends.
Oh, no, because you'll have to have a friend code.
A little longer phone number.
Next topic.
Okay, so let's talk about some Asian gaming addiction.
Yay!
How to kick the habit. So we have 2 programs.
Why would we want them to kick the habit?
It's half of our news
so
show.
amusing this way.
So there are 2 plans out there, one from China, one from Korea, on how to best wean the kiddies off of the internet and the online gaming.
Here, try this crystal meth. You'll never worry about gaming again.
So the Chinese themselves are going to have started up a little boot camp.
Figures.
In the Dajing County, they have the Internet Addiction Treatment Center. And basically they have psychological therapy with military drills.
And batons. We'll cane the gaming out of you.
Now, the center itself is being run by an army colonel. That can't be good at all.
So it's a hospitable, friendly environment.
You get up at 6:15 in the morning, do some calisthenics, do some marching. Then you go play simulated war games with, like, laser guns and things like laser tag.
Dude, really?
Wait. So
Kind of cool.
To wean you off of video games, they put you on violence.
No, they're probably just like, no, dude. See, here, in real life, it's so much more fun. Here, go look. Here's an AK-47.
So who wants to sign up for the army?
I don't know. That might be a fun vacation, though, man. The middle of summer, like, you know, I get off of a show or something. You want to go to, like, you know, play war games.
And now the Koreans themselves are also getting into trying to kick the habit. There's a Korean startup company called Xtiv, and they are hoping to curb gaming addictions with sound. So what they're going to do is use subliminal sound effects. So they're urging developers to take their system and integrate it into their own sound system. So once you pass the recommended playing limit, it will start playing.
Like what, Barbara Streisand or something?
Shut the game off, 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 shut the game off.
It'll be that guy Mort from Family Guy, and just like going, okay, God, stop me. I didn't want to be cracked on that much anyway.
But yes, and according to the company, it actually works fairly well.
And did they give any details on what kind of sound they were using?
They break in your house and radio tape your parents having sex and just replay it for you.
Oh, God.
That would work.
You know, there always were those stories back in the 60s and 70s where department stores would play over their music, hey, go buy this, at like fast enough so you couldn't hear, but your subconscious heard it. That's what they're going to try and do here.
Oh.
That's pretty fast.
Next topic.
There's some news around 300. A lot of the negative reviews of 300 that the USA Today and the LA Times have been putting out have been comparing it and liking the movie to a video game in their dissing of it.
Yeah, like that somehow lessens it.
Here's a couple quotes. Like Kenneth Turin of the LA Times says, once the newness of 300 wears off, which it inevitably does, what we are left with is a video game come to life.
And why is that a bad thing?
Well, I don't know, but Claudio Puig of USA Today says the excitement amounts to little more than a video game on the big screen.
Yeah, it's like the best intro you've ever seen.
But, I mean, I don't understand why it matters one way or the other if it entertained people.
I guess the thing here is why in their ripping apart of the film is a video game's the choice? Why they...
Right, is a negative connotation to compare it to.
Movie critics like to think that they're art critics, and everyone likes to rip on the fact that, you know, some people will say that some video games are art, and real art critics think that that's stupid, so a video game being art.
Just easy to dismiss it as a plaything.
It's a game. It's a child's toy.
So are video games art?
They can be. It's just like with a movie. I mean, you have your mindless popcorn summer movies, and then you have, you know, The Piano Player, which wins like 30 million Oscars. And then you have video games like Diablo 2, which is straight button mashing. And then you have something like Knights of the Old Republic, which has a great story.
Yeah, did you see the last week I actually did Final Fantasy 12, talked a little bit about the development, and 80% of the production of Final Fantasy 12 was art, story, and all that stuff.
There's far too much effort into pre-production of these games to dismiss them entirely as not being art.
I mean, yeah, look at Gears of War. I mean, yeah, the story was nothing, but the artwork and everything that they did with that world, I mean, it was beautiful.
If you have people on your development team who are artists, I mean, there's art involved. Sorry.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Well, like Bob said, it's an elitist mentality it's like beneath them. I thought the movie was sweet and very pretty, especially when that leg shot across the screen.
Hey. No spoilers.
Next topic.
Nate Dogg on the forum has started a whole little thread here where he throws out a few statements, and then you respond if you think it's fact or fiction, and you gotta back up that response with why you think it's that way. You care about a rumble feature in your next-gen gaming controller. A fact or fiction?
Fiction.
You don't care about rumble in your next-gen controller.
No.
Why?
Because it eats batteries. This coming up with a reason kind of sucks. It ruined my whole approach.
It's one of those things where I like to say fact, only because I'm so used to it, I'd probably be pissed if it wasn't there.
I agree with Bob.
I do like the rumble in games like Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, the action RPGs, because that's kind of like your notion when you get low on health. Your controller starts to vibrate.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's kind of like the cue to, hey, push the R1 button or push L1.
I'll say it's fact because I'll take Resistance Fall of Man, for example, on the PlayStation 3 right now that doesn't have rumble. And there aren't strong indicators to let you know that you're taking a lot of damage. Whereas if you had rumble, you would know, oh, I'm getting shot. Let me make sure I get behind cover. So I'll say fact.
Me and Hepe, the fish boy over here, are the only ones worried about
Probably.
the conservation of power.
Si, senor.
Energy.
It uses too much power.
Here's another one here. You couldn't care less about Duke Nukem Forever, and they should just cancel the game altogether. Fact or fiction?
That's a fact. Fact.
No, I care.
I'm going to say crap.
I care, damn it. Just because it's been around for so long, I want to see something. There has to be something. I don't care if they release something it's a 2-minute game. It's one guy working on it, isn't it? It's like one dude keeping the dream alive. And he, like, every other month he gets one other guy to work with him, and they're like, dude, this is gay. I'm leaving. And then he's like, oh, man. Now Tim's gone. I gotta get like Barry to help me.
When that game finally comes out, you're going to want to see what it is that it took so long to make.
What took 10 years to make.
Exactly. You're going to be curious. And you can't tell me you won't be, because you will. You're going to want to see what 10 years gives you. And then you're going to be thoroughly let down.
And be like, damn, this game looks like it was made 10 years ago.
We'll try one more here. You believe fighting games nowadays, like Tekken and all those kind of things, need some serious innovation since arcade, versus, and tag team modes don't cut it anymore no matter what the series is. Fact or fiction?
Fact.
I was never a huge fan of fighting games, and the few that I did play still wasn't that into. I'll probably never buy a fighting game ever as long as I live, unless it is. So I guess true.
I kind of take issue only because how they did Fight Night with the 2 analog sticks. I thought that was actually innovative rather than A, B, up, down, left, left. That got old. Playing Fight Night with the 2 analog controllers, it actually felt like you were almost punching. Granted, I got raw little nubs on each of my thumbs from doing that, even for the couple hours at Chris's house, but that was kind of cool. I liked that.
Well, I think fighting games as they are right now should be relegated to just the arcades. I don't think they have a real place on the consoles because you can't play them online because of the lag issue.
Fair enough.
And the control schemes the controller is not meant for fighters. You need the arcade cabinet with the joystick and 10 million buttons to do a real fighting game. That's why it's still so big over in Japan.
I was going to say, have you tried Virtua Fighter for the PS3?
I played it, and to me, it's pretty much unplayable with the 6-axis controller.
I didn't consider that with the lack of online play, and I don't think they're ever going to be able to. I don't know what kind of bandwidth you would have to have in order for something like that to become a reality.
But Bob, also, we played all our fighting games. We were always together playing the fighting game, which makes it obviously much more fun because you're not just fighting one person or the computer.
And then when the guy kicks your ass in the game, you can actually go kick his ass in reality right next to you.
Exactly. He does something cheap. Like, dude, Chris walked in front when he was taking a dump, man. You didn't win. I just got distracted.
Next topic.
So Microsoft has officially announced what the pricing plans are for the PC version of Live. It's going to be coming out May 8th, and that is the simultaneous with the launch of Halo 2 for the PC. Only for Windows Vista, Ivan's favorite. It's going to have the same subscription level as the Xbox 360 Live. Basically, you have a silver, which is free, or a gold, which you pay $50 a year. Now, it sounds like if you already have a 360 gold account, you will automatically have a PC gold account.
Damn right you will. Sorry, I would have flown off the handle if that wasn't the case.
Chris sent me here what the silver membership features are going to be here for the free version. You have the single gamer tag, common gamer profile, common gamer score, single player achievements,
And happy ending.
Single player achievement unlocked.
The only real thing here is that silver is going to feature PC-only multiplayer and an active list of your PC gaming friends. Now, if you should become a gold member, you're going to get all the silver memberships, plus you're going to get the true skill matchmaking, all that stuff. Only with the gold will you get the cross-platform play with games like Shadowrun.
With game like Shadowrun. Do they have a list of titles that are going to fill that out a little bit, or else,
Right, they're going to have Uno.
Oh, well, that tears it. I better sign up for this right away. Now, the only thing that would make this worth buying, then, is are they going to have some type of universal, I don't know, like how they have with Xbox Live?
I believe they're going to have the same infrastructure that you have with Live, in that when you turn on your computer, it says, hey, Chad signed into Windows Live, and you see the little pop-up on your screen if you have the gold membership. Your guys in your 360 will see you came on. You on your PC buddies will see you came on, that kind of thing. The exact same thing, I believe, as...
I'm pretty bitter at this right now, because I'm like, this is not even close to being worth... It's one thing for Xbox 360, but...
Games that are under the Games for Windows, yeah, they'll be a part of the whole... game Windows Live service or whatever it is.
The other thing here is you can only have this live service with Vista.
Right.
And there were conspiracy theorists saying, well, why not for XP? Is this just a marketing platform to push Vista?
And they were
on
like,
people?
yes, it is.
Yes, of course it is.
I can't see myself buying Vista just for Shadowrun and all this stuff.
Let's be honest here. Every operating system sucks for like the first year.
I said, it's just like PS3. Give it a year. It'd probably be worth buying, but,
Yeah, I'm not even going to touch Vista until this first service pack this summer. So.
Right, yeah, until Service Pack 1 comes out. There's no reason
I'm
to
not
touch
touching it until I get inoculated.
No, but see, here's the whole problem with this Windows for Live thing. Unless you're an Xbox 360 Gold member, it makes no sense to get it at all. If you're Tom, there's no reason to get this at all, because what purpose does it really serve? None.
I can't see for the foreseeable future, probably till at least this fall or maybe beginning of 2008, any games that use this. Cross-platform. I haven't heard of any beyond Shadowrun and Uno. Great.
Next topic.
Do you guys get called bias at all?
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. I've been getting killed since our last episode because basically my podcast partner made me sound like a Microsoft lover, so I've just been getting destroyed in email.
But the thing is, I mean, like,
you're one of the two people who own a
PS3.
PS3.
I know, I say that every week. I go, dude, I own every freaking platform.
You're the only one who's allowed to be biased because you've played everything.
Next topic.
When does next gen become current gen?
Now, next Christmas. Yeah, we declare it as part of our opinion. Next gen is now current gen, and PlayStation 2 is previous gen. So there, done. So wait, what's today? Next gen became previous gen on March 16th. There
you go.
Ides of March.
And there you have it. Video Game Show, episode number 29 for Friday, March 16th, 2007. Any ham sandwiches to give out, people?
Yes, to Vicious for joining us this evening.
It was quite tasty, thank you.
Enjoy.
Did you put it?
Well-earned ham.
Did you put a little Dijon mustard on it or something? It was pretty good.
Condiments are on the side.
It was smoked.
And you know what? I'll also give them to the gang of Malaysian midgets that were captured. Sorry, diminutive thieves.
Hey, man, they're just doing what they got to do. Using what God gave them.
And I want to throw out a couple ham sandwiches to Temple Dog for doing some artwork for me and for doing us the Emilio contest. And I want to toss out one to Obey from our forums. We haven't heard from him in a while, and we hope all is well with him. He went overseas for military duty about a month and a half ago. So, ham sandwich to Obey. His parents are sending him podcasts of us.
Poor bastard. He gets to hear us.
And as always, send your comments, questions, queries, or concerns to the mailbag at vgs@gamercastnetwork.com or call us at 320-300-GAME. That is a standard long-distance phone call and all normal charges apply. Or Skype us at Video Game Show. There you go, guys. Good night.
I'll tell you what, though, I still laugh at the most inopportune moments. We don't have to put this on the show, but if when that dude got his head chopped off,
That's
I lost it.
I lost
It's
it.
supposed to be one of the most like heart-wrenching experiences in the movies. I was like,
I did the exact same thing.
but it wasn't that I thought it was funny. It was like, oh my god, that's so sweet. I can't believe they showed it. And I was just like giddy with joy that it was so over the top.